Welcome to the second video for the Great Guitar Build Off 2023 freestyle build of a cigar box ukulele. In the previous video we reviewed the plans, we prepared the sides for the box, we prepared the top and the back for the box, which instead of using a purchased cigar box, I'm making my own, and a nice piece of koa wood that we've ripped down and then resawed to give us about 3/8 of an inch thick sides. In this video we're going to be making the box joints to attach the sides of the box together, and I hope you enjoy the process. So I'm getting set to make box joints for each corner. I've taken each piece and I've lined up the corners by marking them A, B, C, D on each piece, and marked up so that when I cut the other side I'm going in the same direction. So ordinarily box joints, you would want a full joint on the end of one of the pieces and everything fit in the middle, but because I'm gluing the top and back on, I'm going to actually make an even number just because it's easier for me to measure. So I've set my dividers at 1/2 inch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to make a mark along. So this will give me a pin mark every 1/2 inch. From here, I'm going to make marks across the piece to divide up the box joints. I'm also going to make a mark on the edge of the piece and on the sides. What I do is I take my marking gauge and I set it to the thickness of the piece of wood. This is a no measure except for my 1/2 inch measurement on the caliper. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each piece, and since they're all the same thickness, I'm just going to mark a line straight across each piece and on the sides. So what I'm going to do, the marking, if you really, these lines have to be very fine. That's why I use the knife, and what I'll do is I'll darken them up with a pencil after. And everywhere where I have a little dimple, I will make a line straight across. Alright. The next thing I need to do is I need to mark the waist sides. So because this, we're going to split the, one is going to have the end, one is not. What I'm going to do is I want my top of my long sides to maintain, to have the pin. So we're going to cut out that one, and that one. My dovetail marker, again, we're going to use it on the square edge. And now we're going to take these lines and we're going to continue them to the cut, to the mark we made with the top edge. So what we're doing is we're carrying this down to the mark we made with the marking gauge. So what I'm doing now, I've marked everything, and I'm taking my dovetail saw and I'm cutting inside on the waist side of the line straight down to the mark we made. Now the end one, I'm just going to take a crosscut saw again just inside the line. I want to find a chisel that's just a little bit narrower than the box joints. And I'm just going to start chopping out. I'm going to use the cut edge. We'll register the chisel vertically. Just give it a little, just to get it started. You don't want to cut the whole thing off there. You want to start on the ends. And not even go all the way through, because we're going to turn it over and come in from the other side. And that's why we put the registration line on both sides. Flip the piece over. So the next step is to take, this is side B, this is side B, orient them to the outside. So we're going to take this piece, I'm going to use a block, I'm going to set this in the vise level with the block, and we're going to lay the other side and we're going to line them up. They're aligned. Then we're going to take our marking knife and we're going to mark the locations of where these pins are. Outside B, I've double checked that my marks are going to line up. And again, we're going to take the saw and we're going to cut on the waist side of the line. Take our let's see how I did. This could be very embarrassing. It would be very tough if this thing came together on the first shot. It almost never happens because you cut on the waist side of the line, but it's pretty close. So what I've got to do is I've got to find the places now where I need to remove some material. And we'll tweak it until it fits. A little bit more tweaking, but they are coming together pretty nicely. And I guess I can admit it now, this is the first time I've hand cut box joints. I've done dovetails, but not box joints. So I'll get these cleaned up and I'll cut the other ones, and then we'll see how it looks when we get it all together. Okay, so what I've done is I've finished making the other 3 box joints. Now it's time to glue them together. So I did sand the inside surface because it would be hard to do once it's assembled. So I'm just going to start. I like to start with A and go in order. The nice thing about the box joint is it gives you long grain to long grain contact. Dovetails do the same. It doesn't work to glue end grain. It just does not have the strength to hold up. I like to put a little glue on each side of the joint. So we'll go around and we'll get each one of these. Checking it for square, and it's square. Did something right. Make sure we didn't throw anything off when we put the other set of clamps on. We're square. So now we just let that glue dry up, and we will move on to the neck.